this is football. No one is perfect. No one is going to have a 10 out of 10 game, no matter how much you try and make it happen. So for me, it's always adapting to how I can make it easier for my teammates. And if they're playing a pass that's gone on to the wrong foot, for example, not on my back foot, okay, but how can I still make it into something positive?
Today we're talking to Fran Kirby and we're going to hear more about her game in her words. So Fran, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. So
good.
Look, today we've got some clips from different games.
Okay, nice.
So this is you playing for England against Australia.
Yep.
And you're getting a goal. Can you remember it?
I do remember it, yes.
Great. What was the context around the game?
It was a friendly. I think both teams were getting ready for a tournament coming up, so I think it was a friendly to get ready for that.
Cool, all right, let's have a little look. So celebrating there, loving it.
Yeah, I think the goalkeeper messed up a goal kick. But I think she did one a couple of minutes earlier and we probably should have had a chance to score, but we didn't make the most of it, so it was good to get that goal this time. Pretty sure that's what happened, or maybe not.
I think she looks to play out from the back. So you're pressing the goalkeeper? Yeah,
and then she messes up her kick, yeah. I think this is really good from Beth to see the pass. And then, nice little left-footed finish there.
Great.
I think I've always been told to just chase something because you never know what's going to happen. So in that moment, you probably think, oh, why are you pressing that? It's going back to the goalkeeper, but I always just see it as an opportunity to make it as difficult as I can. And you never know if someone's going to make a mistake, and 9 times out of 10 she probably wouldn't make a mistake. But that one time she did and we were able to capitalise on it, so that was really good.
Do you think from sort of a mental perspective, is it quite hard to continue to do things even if maybe you're not getting a payoff? Yeah,
definitely. I think throughout a game you probably, as a forward player as well, when you're playing and you're pressing, you're not really expected to win the ball. And I think that's quite disheartening as a forward player when maybe you are doing them things, you're not winning it, and maybe you're not causing a disruption as much as you'd like to. So I think sometimes you can see when players get frustrated if they do press and maybe the rest of the team aren't coming with them and they turn around and there's a massive gap between them and the rest of the team. So it can get a little bit frustrating and a bit like disheartening, but I think it'll be that one time you don't do it when maybe a bad touch will happen. So it's just to keep going, keep doing it and keep believing what you're doing.
So you said that she'd done something similar in the game beforehand?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So is that what made you think, do you know what, actually if I go I might get a goal here? Yeah,
definitely. I think you have to, and you can see on people as well, if they've made a few mistakes leading up until that moment, you can see on their face, she probably didn't want that back pass, especially the way that the pass went back to her. It's quite difficult to manage. So to be honest, I just always think what if. What if she makes a mistake? What if the ball rolls under her foot? What if she can't clear it? If she does clear it, then that's fine as well. It's not the end of the world if she does clear it and it goes to one of their players, but at least I've done what I can to try and make a little bit of pressure.
How do you kind of separate what happens off the pitch and on the pitch and sort of get your head in the game?
I just try and focus on the moment where I'm at. So when I go out onto a pitch and I see the green grass and I see the white lines, I'm like, okay, this is my safety. This is where now I don't need to worry what is happening outside. Just for these 90 plus minutes, this is all I'm going to focus on and what I'm going to think about. Of course, it's a lot easier said than done, and it takes time and it takes working on your strategies and how to cope with them kind of things. But for me, a football pitch has always been my safety. It's always been where I can completely be myself, where I don't have to worry about anything else going on in the world. Maybe the final whistle blows and my head straight away goes back to what's happening off the pitch. But as soon as I come onto the pitch, it's just like, this is when I was 7 years old and playing football in my back garden. It's just, everything is just focused on that moment.
Yeah, I love that. Next one we've got is you scoring against Brazil.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind this game? Do you remember it?
Yeah, I do remember it. Yeah, I remember I was really excited to play in this game because Marta was coming over to England. Unfortunately, she got injured quite early on, so she couldn't play. But yeah, no, I remember the game really well. I remember my aunties were late, so they didn't see my goals. So I'm gonna drop that one in there for them.
And it's a headed goal, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't score many of them, so I definitely remember it. Yeah, it was a pretty good one.
I think it's really interesting there as well for anyone, because I think you're pointing where you want the ball.
Yeah, well, normally I'd want the ball to my feet, because I don't often score many goals with my head, but I think the pace that Keats crossed the ball in, all I needed to do was really kind of just glance it and get it on target. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, I'd want the ball to my feet because I'm not the best in the air with my head. But
well, you are.
It wasn't a bad one, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, I know as soon as Nikita gets the ball that she's going to drive and she's going to commit and she's going to try and get herself in the box. So I just knew when she got the ball there, I just had to make my way into the box and just try and free myself up and get some space.
So interestingly, I think for me as well was around that focus and concentration side of it. So you're sort of saying where you want the ball, at the last second it sort of comes somewhere else and you have to be ready to adapt to that. Is that something you think is really important in the game?
Yeah, definitely. I think, everyone wants to sit here and go that we're going to play amazing passes and every single pass is going to go to the perfect foot or the perfect area that you want, but that's not the game. It might take a deflection, it might come at you quicker, it might come at you at a higher level. So it's just always being able to adapt and move your feet and be ready in your brain. Okay, this is where I'd like the ball, but is this where I'm going to get the ball?
Yeah.
And for me, I remember when I was coming through my academy days, and I remember a coach always saying to me, always make a bad ball a good ball. If it's not the perfect ball for you, how can you make it into a good ball? You kick the ball over the top and, it's not perfectly in the space that you want to run into, but how can I make it a good ball? Okay, I can go and retrieve it and do something else with it. And it's just always adapting to what comes at you so you can go, okay, no, I'm going to do my best to make sure that if Nikita doesn't play it on the floor, am I ready then to adapt and move my body?
So I think it's really, again, focusing on the positives rather than negatives, because if you watch some young players train, if they ask for the ball here and it's there, that player might be saying, I need it here, I didn't want it there, and they're getting frustrated at their teammate, but actually that's probably not helping the team, right?
No, definitely not. And I think, we've all had them moments as players where we've got frustrated when maybe the ball hasn't gone to the right place. I also get extremely frustrated in them moments as well, so I'm not going to sit here and say, that I haven't had them moments, but, this is football. No one is perfect. No one is going to have a 10 out of 10 game, no matter how much you try and make it happen. So for me, it's always adapting to how I can make it easier for my teammates. And if they're playing a pass that's gone on to the wrong foot, for example, not on my back foot, okay, but how can I still make it into something positive? Do I then just have to play one touch back and not maybe do what I had in my head to go forward in the next instance? So it's just always, in a way also, it's just backing your teammates. No one wants to give you a bad pass. So understand that maybe the situation changed for them in that moment that they couldn't do that.
Awesome. Look, we've run out of time, so thank you so much.
I can't talk too much.
I know, we could have sat all day and spoke, so thank you so much.
No
really
worries.
interesting and great insights, so appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thanks.